Hello everyone, I'm Dolly Wells, also known as Sister Agatha Van Helsing in the BBC's drama Dracula. And I would like to welcome my fellow hunters of things that go bump in the night to Brian P. Easton's Werewolf Bar and Whiskey with the Werewolf Hunter.
Well, thanks for that introduction, Dolly. That's Dolly Wells from BBC's Dracula. And I know a lot of people didn't like it, and they point to the last episode as what really sunk it for them. But I thought the first two episodes were brilliant and worth the price of admission all by themselves. Anyway, Dolly Wells. Anyway, thanks for joining me here at the Werewolf Bar again. Where we're going to have a drink or two around my Autobiography of a Werewolf Hunter series. Our creature of the night is Knob Creek. Now, Knob Creek is a small batch whiskey by Beam Suntory, distilled at the Jim Beam distillery there in Kentucky. And it's for their high-end market. It's kind of, like as I said, it's a small batch for their high-end liquor market. And it's, you know, there's Knob Creek, there's Booker's, there's Baker's, there's Basil Hayden of Deadwood fame, and but this actually is a rye. The others were bourbons, and the main difference between a rye and a bourbon is, of course, the grain. With rye mash, you're going to have a more intense taste, a drier taste than a corn mash that is used in bourbon, which has a sweeter and more full-bodied flavor to it. So as the state of this bottle might suggest, I'm a fan. So no surprises tonight, just a nice bite of good rye whiskey. And to you. So this evening I thought I'd take the opportunity to share a few updates with you. Got a few irons in the fire these days. The most prominent of which is I'm working on book 2 of the Winterfox Journals, of course. And the second volume in Winterfox's life is almost exclusively concerned with his service and his adventures during the Great War, World War I. Right now I'm midway through chapter 6, and that's going to be roughly halfway through the whole book. So that's a real milestone from an author's point of view. We're also working on the Legends of the Werewolf Hunter anthology, which is going to be coming your way from MB Press this coming Halloween season. We got seven different authors, which are going to be contributing stories which take place in the Autobiography of a Werewolf Hunter universe, using characters, plot points, or maybe just other references from the series. It's a really exciting project, and I'm glad everybody's on board. It's a great group we've got working with. And it's really opened some doors. It's created an opportunity, actually, for MB Press and me that we're going to be announcing in October in conjunction with the anthology going live. So you'll want to stick around for that. Now, the stories of the anthology really expand, or maybe not expand is the right word, explore would be a better word, I think. They really explore the boundaries of the world where Michael Winterfox and Sylvester Logan James live. I'm also pleased to tell you that Basil Sands, who is the narrator of every audiobook in my series, will be reading for the Legends of the Werewolf Hunter anthology when it goes to audiobook as well. So how's that for continuity? Miles will be doing more interviews in the upcoming months, and they'll be presented here as well as on MB Press's YouTube channel, which you're going to want to check out as well. So, independent of Autobiography of a Werewolf Hunter news, I'm involved with the project based in my hometown, plotting and writing the script for a couple of graphic novels about the Big Muddy Monster, which is the cryptid in southern Illinois, cited several times throughout the decades as early as the 1930s. But it created quite a media stir back in 1973 and 76. And different folks that I know personally have had encounters with the creature. So, like I've said before, I've always been kind of proud to come from a town where that had its own monster. So when I was asked to write the graphic novel version of this story, it felt like something I had to do, like I was almost duty bound to do it. So I've been working with an energetic artist and publisher, and this thing is really starting to come together. And in 2023, just a couple of years away now, will be the 50th anniversary of the 1970 sightings. And so my hometown is planning to make the most of that celebration. The people I'm working with who are putting this thing together are really inspired and are really going a long way in making the town a destination for cryptid hunters, researchers, and curious people all over the place who are interested in Bigfoot type creatures. So that's exciting, and when it's all said and done, I'm sure I'll be able to provide you with some information to pick up a copy if you're so inclined. Like I said, there are 2 graphic novels that I will be working on. The first is just sort of a Just the Facts Ma'am version, which is primarily taken from my hometown police department's reports on the creature, because they were called on almost every sighting. The police were called, and they have official reports which are available to the general public. And so I'll be using those primarily as a framework to tell the story in the first graphic novel. And that's going to be mostly for promotional use by the city, and to bring in those tourists and those cryptid hunters like what we talked about. Now the second graphic novel that I will be doing, which is, we're going to do that after I've done the first one, will expand upon the actual events and encounters as they were recorded and kind of stitch them together into a narrative that has a literary license to it, to tell a good yarn, or at least an educated accounting of where the monster came from or might have come from, and what else it might be up to. I expect that one to be either significantly longer or maybe just divided into a series of graphic novels. If you're interested in knowing more about that, you can go to Facebook and do a search for Muddy Monster Comics, and like and follow that page for updates on this stuff as it happens. So there's some cool stuff in the works for me, and I'm burning moonlight, as they say, so I'm going to call that a wrap for tonight. Kind of a short episode this month, but that's okay. Thanks for checking in with us at any rate, and thanks for subscribing, clicking the like button. Hope you have a great summer. Until next time, happy hunting and mind the moon.